Hey you guys, it's Lauren. Welcome back. So in today's video, we're going to talk about my top face products for the year. So I had so many products in front of me when I first started getting together things for this video, and I really tried to narrow it down. I think I have like 1 to 2 things in most categories, except foundation. I think I picked like 4 foundations. So I hope you guys are ready for a lot of products. I already did my favorite lips video for the year. That was my last video I posted. I'll link that down below. That one was really fun. My favorite products of all time are lip products, so that's why I had to make that like a separate video. But I figured I could probably squeeze the rest of my favorites in one video. So hopefully this video isn't crazy long. So yeah, lots of things to get through, so we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, so let's talk about primers first. So when I'm looking for a good primer, I wanted to do, I guess, 3 things. I wanted to hydrate my skin, I want it to make my foundation last, of course, and I want it to fill my pores. And I have 3 primers in front of me, all for like different purposes. So my favorite glowy primer for the year is this one by First Aid Beauty. This is their Coconut Smoothie Priming Moisturizer. This is so good. Oh my gosh, it really just hydrates my skin. It keeps my skin just moisturized all day. It keeps any like flakes at bay. It like fills in like my fine lines. And it also just makes my foundation last. I feel like it's really hard to find a good glowy primer that doesn't make your foundation like slide around. But this just makes your foundation like adhere to your skin, and it just is a gorgeous like radiant primer. It doesn't have any glitter in it. It just gives like a glowy, healthy looking effect, and I love this so much. And then for a matte primer, I love this one by Too Faced. This is their Primed and Peachy primer, and I am super picky when it comes to a matte primer because, like I said, I have dry skin, and a lot of matte primers can really dry out your skin, or a lot of them I found like just make like my skin feel tacky and sticky. I don't know if you guys have ever felt that, but this just feels so good going on the skin. It's like super cooling and refreshing, and it does a great job with filling in my pores, and it just like smooths everything out. It keeps everything matte without drying out my skin. So yeah, this is a great one. I love this. And then just for an all-around hydrating primer, my favorite for the year, this is like the top dog. This is like my favorite. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Primerizer. This is almost like, I don't know, it's like a milky serum going onto the skin. Again, another one that feels so great going onto the skin, and your skin just stays moisturized throughout the day. It makes your foundation last. And my favorite part about this primer, it just makes my foundation glide on easily. I feel like if you don't have a nice smooth base, your foundation can look patchy, and this just makes your foundation look so seamless. It's just so great. Now, because it's on the thinner side though, it's not the greatest with filling in pores. So what I like to do is use the Primed and Peachy just around my nose where my pores are larger, and then this all over the rest of my face. But yeah, this is a great primer. I really have to buy the full size. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but I'm almost down to the end here, so I have to buy myself a full size. But a great primer, especially if you're looking for a nice hydrating primer. That one's awesome. And then my favorite setting spray for the year has to be this one by Cover FX. This is so good. I love it. This is like one of my favorite makeup products, but this is the Illuminating Setting Spray. First of all, the mist on this is so like nice and fine. Like it's almost like a cloud of like coconut goodness going on your face. It smells like coconut, but it's like that nice light coconut smell, and it just gives your face such like a pretty glow. Let me show you guys what it looks like. You definitely have to shake this up. I heard some people say that it left like droplets of glitter on their face. I never noticed that, but maybe just because I shake it up really good. But the sprayer on here is great, and it's just, oh my god, it's so good. And it's just like nice and light, and it just makes all your makeup and powders just kind of like meld together, and it really makes your makeup last too. So I love that setting spray. It's so good. Okay, and then for foundations, so this is the category I couldn't really narrow down, but I did my best. I have 4 in front of me. But the first one I have here is for a natural satin looking finish, and it's the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. This foundation is so good. Oh my gosh, it's probably my favorite. But if you guys are looking for a natural foundation, but yet you want it to cover all your imperfections, this is your girl right here. She is so good. It just covers all my hyperpigmentation so well. It evens everything out, and it truly just gives like your skin that like natural skin looking finish. And there's great ingredients in here too. You have your hyaluronic acid, there's ascorbic acid in here too, so your vitamin C. I don't know how much brightening and anti-aging you're gonna get from this. I'm sure it's in like small amounts in here, but still you feel like you're putting something good on your skin when you're using this. And yeah, it's just one of my favorites. This is such a great like natural looking foundation. I love that. And then for a long wearing foundation, this one by Smashbox. So this is the StudioSkin 15 Hour Wear Hydrating Foundation. This foundation always amazes me. I'll work a 12-hour shift and at the end of the day, I'll look in the mirror and my foundation almost looks just as good as it did in the morning. It lasts so long. It's so good. And it doesn't break up at all. It never like accentuates texture. It just gives like your skin a nice finish, and a little bit goes a long way. It's almost like applying like a really thin concealer to your face, if that makes sense. It has a lot of pigment in here, so it covers everything. I would say it's like medium to full coverage. And yeah, I just love the lasting power on this. This is so great. And then for a drugstore high coverage foundation, I love this one by Milani. This is their Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. This covers everything. This is so good. If you're looking for like a high glam, like full coverage look, and you just want your foundation to look flawless, like this is your foundation. This is amazing. It covers every single imperfection. I would probably even argue this is the most fullest coverage foundation at the drugstore. So good. Now the one thing about this, I feel like it does feel a little heavy on the face, so if you're not into that, you might not enjoy this. And it does oxidize, so make sure you go about a shade or two lighter because it does get a little darker in your skin. But I love this for like a nighttime event when you just want that like full coverage look. This is amazing. This is so good. And then, is that it? Oh, I have one more. So for a matte foundation, this one from IT Cosmetics like steals the show. This is my favorite for the year. This is their CC Oil-Free Matte Foundation. This is probably one of the only matte foundations that I've tried that doesn't accentuate my dry skin. It doesn't accentuate any texture or flakiness. It doesn't settle into my fine lines. It just literally floats over your skin. And I think one of the claims on here, yeah, it says it's a poreless finish. And it really does like just float over your pores. I feel like I don't really need primer with this. It's just so good. And it feels so good going onto the skin. It has a lot of great things in here. If you guys want a breakdown of all three of the ITCC formulas, I posted a video comparing all the ingredients and everything. But this has a lot of great things in here. There's niacinamide in here, which is great for anti-aging. So great things in here, and it just looks amazing on the skin. It feels good on the skin and just gives your skin a beautiful matte finish. And I love that there's SPF of 40 in there too, so just like an extra bonus. So that is foundations. Let's move on to concealer. So my winner for the year has to be this Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is, it just always amazes me because when I first applied it, I'm like, there's no way this is going to cover my dark circles. It's not going to cover blemishes because of how thin this is. This is like water going onto your skin. It's super thin, but they pack so much pigment in here. It covers like everything. It's amazing, but yet it feels like nothing on your skin. It's so weightless and comfortable. I just can't stand when a concealer just feels like thick and heavy. I hate that because you usually are packing powder on top of it as well. So I want my concealers to be like really lightweight, and this does that. I love that it covers. I love the weightless feel. This is great. I love this. And then for a drugstore concealer pick, this one by Catrice is great. This is their Liquid Camouflage Concealer. This is very comparable to the Naked Skin. If you like that weightless, lightweight feel, you'll love this. Another one that has really high coverage for being super lightweight. This is another great one. It has a really strong smell, so if fragrance bothers you, you might not like that. And then for a hydrating concealer, this one by Glossier, the Stretch Concealer. I don't know why it took me so long to hop on this bandwagon, but oh my gosh, this has a lot of hype and for a good reason. It's so hydrating underneath the eyes and it doesn't settle into lines. It's super lightweight feeling. I would say this is more of like a medium coverage concealer, but if you just want to like cancel out some darkness and impart some like brightness underneath your eyes, this is great. And I just love the hydration I get from this. It's so great, especially if you have dry skin. I know people with oily skin, I've heard say they're not a fan of this. It does slide around a little bit, but I like to set it with powder and it just gives such like a beautiful smooth finish. This is amazing. I love this. And that is it for concealers. So let's move on to powders. So for an all over finishing powder, my favorite for the year is this one by Hourglass. This is the Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Dim Light. And these powders are like magic, I swear. I don't even know if it's worth like swatching this because you won't even be able to see it, but here, you know what, let me apply it to my skin. These powders like melt into your skin and just, I swear, it can make any foundation look flawless because it blends everything together and it just gives your skin just such a healthy glow. I can always be confident that even if my skin is on the drier side for the day, that it's not going to accentuate like my flakiness and my texture. It's just, they're so good. But yeah, it just really smooths out your skin and I just love the subtle glow you get from it. It makes your skin just look so nice and natural. But definitely if you're going to pick one of these up, maybe try the mini sizes first. They take some experimenting. I know one of my girlfriends was like, I tried them and I totally didn't get the hype around it. but she told me what shade she got, and I think I did the same thing. I got the totally wrong shade at first, and I applied it. I'm like, I feel like this is just leaving a white cast on my face. I don't see what the hype is around this. I heard a lot of people recommend dim light with my similar skin tone, and I picked up dim light and I just like fell in love. So definitely experiment with them a little bit because they definitely take some time, but oh my gosh, once you find the right shade, they're just like nothing else I've ever tried. They're just amazing. And then as far as a setting powder goes, I love this one by Glossier. All-time favorite, so amazing. This is the Wowder powder. I have the shade Light Medium. And just like the Hourglass powder, this melts into your skin and just becomes one with your skin. Here, I'll apply this too so you guys can see it going on. It almost has like, I don't know, like a light pinky peach tone to it in a way, which at first I was a little turned off. I thought this wouldn't match my skin tone, but it really just like blends into your skin. And I love this for my T-zone and also underneath my eyes too. Like, it never makes my under eye look cakey. It's just amazing how it just like makes everything look super flawless and even. So just a great buy for something that feels like a luxury powder. It's just amazing. I love that. And then next up, let's talk about blushes. So I picked two for the year. My favorite, probably my most used, has been this one by Jouer. This is the Rose Gold palette. These palettes have two shades in them, and this one just called my name. I love those like peachy tone pink blushes. If you're looking for like just a nice like natural blush, these shades are absolutely gorgeous. And these have the perfect amount of shimmer, not too much, just enough to give your skin just like that subtle glow. This pink shade is a little bit on the lighter side. If you like a highly pigmented blush, you'll like this one over here. So it's like a nice mix of two different blushes that you can choose from. And yeah, I love this palette so much. I've been digging into this, and you can see like the emblem is still pretty noticeable. So I feel like this will really go a long way, and I love that Jouer is at Sephora now, so I can explore some more Jouer products. Let me know if you guys have tried anything from them, because what I've tried so far has been really good. I want to get into their what is it, their liquid lips, or I think they're their lip creams, but yeah, I hear people raving about them. But I love that palette so much. And the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. Like, can we talk about that? Like, how pretty. And if you're a NARS Orgasm fan, this blush by Flower Beauty is an amazing dupe for that blush. This is so good. This is the shade Warm Hibiscus, but it has that perfect peachy pinky glow, and these blend so nicely onto the skin. Let me show you guys what this looks like going on. You could almost skip a highlighter with these blushes. They're nicely pigmented, they're not too pigmented, but see how it just gives like a nice glow. It's just such a pretty flush to the cheeks. I love this color so much. And I love that it's the perfect mix between like a peachy and a pink blush. So yeah, the Flower Beauty blushes are great. I also love the shade Sweet Pea as well. But yeah, they're just so seamless on the skin. I love them. And then as far as bronzers go, my favorite for the year is by Too Faced. This is their Sweet Tea bronzer. This is probably a crowd favorite. Everybody talks about this bronzer for good reason. It's glowy, but not too glowy. It's just the perfect bronzer color. Like, it's not too orangey, it's not too cool toned, it doesn't like show up ashy or anything. And I'll show you guys what this looks like too, why not? Are you guys like me? When you watch YouTube videos, do you sometimes like scream at the monitor like, try it on, I want to see what it looks like going on? Sometimes it's just for me so helpful to see a product going on live. I don't know. But yeah, see how like glowy that just made my forehead? It's just like that nice like sun-kissed glow. Love this bronzer. It's so great. Alright, and then next up, it's another one by Too Faced. This is their Pineapple Sun Bronzer. But check out this packaging. It's so cute with all the pineapples. And then there's this little like pineapple guy inside, like so fun. It smells like the beach. It smells like pineapple, coconut, suntan goodness. It smells so great. And it has a nice contour shade on the one side and then a highlighting shade on the other side. And when you swirl them together, it looks very similar to the Sweet Tea bronzer, but you can also use them alone and they're both super pretty. So I love that it's kind of like a dual purpose kind of palette. I love that. And then from the drugstore, my favorite is this one by Milani. This is one of their baked bronzers. This is in the shade Dolce. So this is definitely more fair than the other two. I like this in the wintertime when I'm on the paler side. Honestly, this swatch probably won't even show up. Maybe slightly. But see, it's like just a nice like golden bronze color. It's not too much, and it just gives like your skin like just enough warmth, not too much. This is a great one from the drugstore. I love that. And then for highlighters, I only picked one because honestly I feel like this is all you need because it has 3 shades in here. This is by Flower Beauty, and this is their Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette. I love this because there's a gold shade in here, there's a champagne shade, and if I could open this, and a pink shade, and they're just so pretty. They're some of the creamiest highlighters I've honestly ever tried. They're almost like a cream to powder finish. Let me show you guys what these look like. They just swatch so pretty. They're so glowy, like, oh my gosh, they go on like butter, but they're just so smooth. They blend out so nicely, and I love all three shades. I feel like you can go with any skin tone. They're so pretty, and I'll show you guys what this looks like going on. Why not? Let me show you the first one over here, the champagne color. Like, oh my god, like, look at that intense highlight. Insane. I love that it's like, not that like crazy mirror-like highlight, but it's still just like that nice, like, woo, there's my highlight. They're really pretty, and I just feel like if you are a highlight fan, you need this in your life because it has all three shades and the formula is really nice. Okay, let's talk about mascaras next. I have one from the drugstore, this one by Catrice. This is the Rock Couture mascara. This is everything you need from the mascara, and it's from the drugstore. Great buy. Another product that's so highly underrated, but the brush head on this is huge, and it has those like plastic rubbery bristles, so it really allows for really nice separation, but you still get thickness from this. I feel like a lot of these wands almost give too much separation, and then I don't know, you don't get that like fluttery, thick effect. But this is volumizing, it lengthens your lashes, it's so good. And it's almost buildable. It's one of those mascaras that I can actually reapply throughout the day, which is very unusual. I feel like a lot of them, if you try and do that, forget it, you're gonna get spider lashes, but this one is somehow buildable and it lasts, it doesn't smudge. This one's great, I love it. And then for a high-end one, I have this one by Stila. This is the Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. And for me, this is the answer to Too Faced Better Than Sex, because that mascara, I love the volumizing effect I get from it. I feel like that mascara gives you the most fluttery lashes, but it smudges so bad. This, you get the huge false lash effect, but you don't get the smudge with it. So I love that. I love the look it gives, and I love that you don't get raccoon eyes. So this is a great mascara. I love it. It has the same hourglass wand that the Too Faced one has. So if you like those like thick, like bristly wands, you would really like this. So yeah, this is a great mascara. And then for liquid liner, this one by Makeup Revolution is my all-time favorite. This is all I need. The tip on this is really nice. It's like that typical felt tip, but it has like a slight bend to it, so it makes the application really easy. It doesn't smudge. It lasts a long time, and it's super pigmented. I can't say enough great things about this. This is a great eyeliner from the drugstore. I love that. And then for my waterline, my favorite is by Urban Decay. This is their 24/7 Glide On Pencil. This is in the shade Perversion, I think. So this is super, super black. It stays in your waterline. It doesn't budge. As a matter of fact, I feel like when I wash my makeup off at night, I feel like I always still have some remnants of this left in the morning. It's kind of hard to get off, but I love that it's super pigmented and it just really lasts. My favorite brow pencil of recent has been this one by e.l.f. This is their Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. Now they had a thicker pencil, which I always love the formula on that, but I just wished it was a little thinner. So I was so excited when I saw that they released a thinner, skinnier pencil. And this isn't super pigmented, so if you like a super pigmented like brow look, that pomade look, you might be a little disappointed. But this just gives like a nice natural effect. See, it's barely, now you can see it showing up. So it's not crazy pigmented, so your brows are gonna look nice and natural. And I just love the skinny tip to it. It lasts a long time. And then for high end, I of course love my Brow Wiz, but I gotta tell you, I'm getting a little disappointed because my pencils keep breaking. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but my spoolie always falls off, and then the tip always like falls and breaks off. But I love the formula of this so much. It's pigmented, but yet still natural looking. But the formula is soft. You don't have to press too hard with this. So I do like the formula, but I just wish they would improve the packaging. It drives me nuts, but love the formula. And then speaking of Anastasia, I also love their brow powder. If you like, again, a nice natural look, you'll love this. This powder lasts a long time. And this color, what do I have? Medium brown. It's just like a nice cool toned brow look. The lasting power on it is great. I have to tell you, sometimes I'm super lazy and I just use eyeshadow in my brows, and I notice a big difference. It definitely doesn't last as long as the Anastasia brow powders. So yeah, the lasting power on those are great, and I love the colors. And then for contour, my favorite for the year has to be this one by Kevyn Aucoin. And I have to tell you, it took me a while to jump on this bandwagon. I think because I saw the price. I think the regular full size is like $44, and I'm like, I'm not paying $44 to contour my nose. Like, no, totally not worth it. But then I found this one for $25, and it's the perfect little size. You have a contour shade on the one side and then a highlighting shade on the other side. So it's great. You kind of get the best of both worlds. You get like a highlight to highlight your brow or your cheek, and then you get this perfectly cool toned contour shade. This is the medium sculpting powder shade. And the shade is perfect. It's just cool toned enough. It's not too ashy. It looks like just nice and natural, and it blends out really nice. And the pan size is perfect. I mean, I don't do too much contouring, just on my nose and sometimes on the side of my cheeks, and this is all I need. I've had this for like 6 months too, and it looks like I barely made a dent. So definitely my favorite contour shade for the year. I love this. And then last but not least, okay, let's talk about eyeshadows. I have two favorites here. This first one, it probably isn't a surprise. I know everybody talks about Soft Glam, but the eyeshadows in here are truly amazing. They're just so blendable. They're super soft. They are a little dusty. You will get some fallout, but in my opinion, I feel like this has less fallout than probably any other Anastasia palette I've tried. The shimmers are definitely on the flakier side, but still really smooth going on. I'm actually wearing probably all the matte browns today, just the matte shades, and they just blend so nicely, and it just makes it super easy. And I just love the neutralness of this palette, but you can also go for a glam look with using the shimmers. It's just a gorgeous palette, hyped up for good reason. This is amazing, my favorite for the year for sure. And then this palette by Natasha Denona, this is the Mini Star palette. This is probably the most used palette for the year for me. This has been living in my makeup bag. This second shade right here, this almost like peachy toned brown, is the shade I use most often, almost on a daily basis, I would say. It is, for me, the perfect transition color. It almost has like a peachy, almost like warmer undertone to it. So it brings out, I would probably say any eye color. Just that warm undertone really enhances like any eye color. It's just absolutely beautiful. And it blends out so nicely. And this deeper chocolate brown right here is great for the outer corner. Again, it blends so well. This kind of has a lot of fallout, so you kind of have to be careful. But the shadows blend really nicely. The shimmers are gorgeous too. This teal shade is so odd. Like, it almost looks like really bright teal in the pan, but when you swatch it, now of course it's probably gonna swatch like really blue. No, see how it like comes off brown? It's such an odd color, but I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's like this bronzy color with this like blue undertone. But yeah, it's just a really fun palette, and they're a great budget-friendly way to try out some Natasha Denona shadows without like totally breaking the bank. And I just love the size of them. They can live in your makeup bag, and the shadow formula is just amazing. But that is my favorites for the year. Oh my gosh, I hope this video wasn't crazy long. I think I will do a best of skincare for the year too. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I love talking about skincare, so I think that one would be fun as well. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'd love to hear your favorites as well. Let me know your foundation favorite, your blush favorite. I also love discovering new products, so I'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys.